Have you ever wondered who really shaped the way we think about life, reality, and knowledge? Not just a teacher, not just a philosopher, but a man whose ideas echo across thousands of years. Let me introduce you to Plato. Not just a name in a textbook, but the mind behind the foundation of Western philosophy. Plato was born around 427 BCE in Athens, a city-state at the height of its cultural and political power. He grew up in a wealthy aristocratic family, but instead of chasing political glory, Plato chased wisdom. And he found his teacher in one of the most influential men in history, Socrates. Socrates didn't write a single word, but his dialogues, questions, and moral inquiry left a lasting mark on Plato. And when Socrates was sentenced to death by the Athenian government for corrupting the youth, Plato was there. Shocked and devastated, he left Athens. But the fire of philosophy burned brighter than ever inside him. Plato would go on to write over 30 works, dialogues where characters, often led by Socrates, wrestle with life's greatest questions. What is justice? What is love? What is truth? What is the purpose of life? His answers weren't always easy, but they were always powerful. One of his most famous ideas is the theory of forms. Plato believed that everything we see in this world is just a shadow, a reflection of a higher, perfect reality. A chair isn't the real chair. It's just an imitation of the perfect, ideal chair that exists in another realm of pure truth. And then there's the allegory of the cave. Imagine people chained inside a dark cave, staring at a wall their entire lives. All they see are shadows. They think the shadows are reality, because that's all they've ever known. But then, one person breaks free. He leaves the cave and sees the sun for the first time. He sees truth. That person, Plato believed, is the philosopher. The one who sees beyond the illusions of the world and dares to bring truth back to others, even if they don't want to hear it. Plato wasn't just a thinker, he was a builder of ideas. He created the academy, the first real university in the Western world. And one of his students, a young man named Aristotle, who would go on to teach Alexander the Great. Plato's impact is everywhere, in politics, education, psychology, and art. He believed in a just society, ruled not by wealth or power, but by wisdom. He dreamed of a world where leaders were philosopher kings, guided not by ego, but by truth. Though he died over 2,300 years ago, his words live on. His questions still challenge us, and his vision of a deeper reality still whispers to those who seek truth in a noisy world. We can easily forgive a child who is afraid of the dark. The real tragedy of life is when men are afraid of the light. Plato narrator. That was Plato. A mind ahead of his time. A soul unafraid of the light. If you found this story powerful, subscribe to Virend, where philosophy meets life.